Hello everyone, welcome to my channel AI is Fun. So today we are continuing the previous video which is generative AI playlist, okay? And we'll start with where we stopped. So earlier we have talked about how generative AI model works, how generative AI models can be, used and so many things, right? So today we will get to know about like how many types of generative AI models are available and how we can start working on generative AI models. Okay, so yeah, so that is the introduction. If you find our video useful, please make sure to hit like, subscribe to our channel, and do share with your friends and family. So there are two main types of AI models. First one is open source model and the other one is closed source model. Okay. So I know you all have known some of the closed source models, which are ChatGPT, uh, Gemini, right? And Cloudy. Okay. So open source models, binaries are open to everyone and anyone can use the same for their, purpose. Let me show you some of the open source model. Okay. Yeah. So once you go to Hugging Face, okay, Hugging Face and click on the model section, some of the models will come into your screen, okay. So these are the models which are open source model, but some of them has some boundaries in which you can use it. For example, Meta Llama model has some of the boundaries to use it. For example, you cannot use it without creating an account, and there are some of the restriction in which how extent you can use it. So you have to be sure about the license system of that model, okay, so that you can use it into any of your enterprises or any of your open source project or anywhere, but there are some restriction on it, okay, because some of the models are there just for research purpose. Some of the models have MIT license, so in which you can use it anywhere. So these are the things, okay. Now let's talk about some pros and cons of the models, okay. What are the pros and the cons of the open source and closed source model? So let's talk about first closed source model. So in closed source model, we don't have to manage our own model. We don't have to deploy it anywhere. So what it will do, it will give you some simple API key, and with the same API key, you can utilize the full extent of the model. It will definitely take some, it will definitely have some cost on it, and yeah, it will charge you some amount to run the model for your case. Okay. For example, this ChatGPT, it is free for now. For example, if I want to use its UI kind of this. But if I want to integrate the same, you have to get the API key from ChatGPT by signing up, and then you have to create an account. You have to pay some money before using any model, for example, $50, $30, whatever amount, and then you can utilize their API key. Otherwise, they don't give you a free API key. Okay, so that is the first drawback of closed source model. But there are some of the like companies like Grok, okay, they have deployed some of the open source model and they are providing API key for free for now. So for that you can refer that previous video which I have created. I will give the link in the description so that you can watch it. So that's what we can do if we want to integrate any deployed model into our POC kind of purpose. Okay, there are some restriction of it that you can hit this many tokens in in a week or somewhat. Okay, so we can go through that part also. Okay, so that are the things for closed source model. If I talk about open source model, so for open source model there are some of the restriction which the main problem with open source model is you have to deploy it on your system, right? If you don't have that much powerful system, you have to deploy it on cloud platform like Amazon SageMaker or Vertex AI of Google, okay, or Azure ML, wherever you need, okay. Otherwise, there are some of the other things where you can deploy. There are some uh, other companies which are giving, which give you some GPU or some CPU, some RAM, to where you can deploy in a cloud kind of architecture, and then you can utilize the same way as the closed source model by creating some API keys or some function in which you can hit the API and get the response from the model. So those things you can do. Okay, so those are pros and cons, and there are different kind of things. For example, if you don't want to lose your data, for example, if you give any data to OpenAI, they might take you data for training purpose, right? So there are some of the things in which you cannot trust these companies. So in those cases, you have to deploy the model on your own environment or your own platform, whatever is required, and then you can use it. So in that case, there are different types of models which we will cover you in the next session, in which we can talk about different types of model like um vision language model, large language model, small language model, multimodal model, mixtures of experts. Okay, so there are so many types of models which are available in the market, and how you can use it. Like there are some of the classification model, like there are some embedding models are there, image to text, text to image. So there are so many models which we are just have to look into. Okay, so depending on your task, depending on your purpose, you can definitely choose any of the model for your, sorry, for your purpose and work along it. Okay. So this is it about closed source and open source model. But if you have some question, please ping in the chat, and yeah, I will definitely reply to it. And yeah, so that is the first part of our video. Now let's talk about the second part, which is prompt engineering. So once you got to know that there are different kinds of models which are available, right? So in this case, you can use those models for your purpose, like kind of use, but there are some of the problem in which people face difficulties to, interact with model. For example, they don't have the specific question to ask, right? So this is prompt engineering. Okay, we'll definitely give you the link of this collab notebook in the description. Please check out. So here first what I'm doing, I will explain once I run each and every line of code in front of you, so that you will understand each step by step. Okay, so first I am simply installing the OpenAI, and then by using Google Colab user data, I am simply taking the user API key, okay, from here. So I'm just taking the OpenAI API key. Instruction based prompting, in which you can give some instruction before the prompting. Okay, for example, in this case, we are giving list three benefits of regular exercises, and it will give you output in a list manner. Okay, so you can see it is running. Okay, and now we are getting the response in a list manner, like improve physical health. The another one is enhance mental health, and then last one is weight management. Okay, and with the description of it. Okay, and the eighth one is complete sync prompting, in which we don't give the output, like what are the question or something like that. We are simply wrote some of the words, and it will complete it out the next word. Okay, so it is a kind of next word prediction, like how LLM works. Okay, it always try to predict the next word. So in this case, we are writing question like this: once upon a time, in a land far away, and there is a comma, and it can generate the next word or next sentences after that. Okay, till it context length ends. Okay, there is no restriction to stop. So yeah, it will try to complete one story out of it. Okay, so it is like once upon a time in a land away there was a peaceful kingdom ruled by the just king. Okay, so it is completing after what is happening here. Okay, it is not rewriting these things here. The last one is conditional prompting, in which we can write some of the condition before generating the output. For example, write a short story that includes a dragon, a brave knight, and a hidden treasure. Okay, so LLM should mention all of these three. So these are the condition, okay, in which we can write some of the condition. For example, if someone is suffering from fever, so it can write what is that person is feeling, like how much temperature it has. So based on the condition, it can generate the response. Okay, so you should definitely go to doctor, or what might be the problem of it and how you can resolve it, whatever. Based on your prompt you can get the response. Okay, so this is the condition prompting, and which it should include these three, like dragon, brave knight, and hidden treasure. So let's search the first one, which is dragon. Okay, so see, there are multiple dragons, they have used it, Knight. See, they have used the knight and the treasure. So they have used treasure multiple times, right? So basically, what is happening? They are creating a story and based on these three inputs. So that is the condition prompting. Okay. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. And yeah, in the next video, we will definitely talk about the other things like how we can create a small application by using any LLM, or maybe we can start learning how we can utilize any framework of LLM. So let's see how it goes, how we plan. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for the latest video. And do let me know if I, make video in Hindi so that you can understand properly maybe. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Bye.